What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix, tools scattered everywhere, and boom, you realise you're missing a part. It's okay, because you know whatever it is, it's on eBay. They've got everything. Brakes, headlights, cold air intakes, whatever you need. And it's guaranteed to fit, which means no more crossing your fingers and hoping you ordered the right thing. All the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, it's Carly. Hope you enjoy this preview of our recap of Glitter and Greed, the Lisa Frank story. You can listen to the whole thing over on Surviving Reality, and we'll be back on Monday with a new recap of Sister Wives, and our New Year's Eve special will be available over on Patreon as a free public episode. So be sure to check that out and ring in the new year with some of your favorite Sister Wives creators. See you then.
Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and I am very excited to be here today to talk to you about Glitter and Greed, the Lisa Frank story. It's a 4-part docu-series.
I was told it was only 3 parts multiple times. Carly has deceived me.
You know, I kind of have a bad history of doing that at this point. This isn't the first time that's happened.
I mean, I should have gone and checked. That's on me, too.
You got to check the facts when I'm telling you how long something is.
Yeah, I have to double check.
I was so excited to see that this was going to be coming out on Amazon because I am a Lisa Frank girly, or was a Lisa Frank girly, I think, after this.
Not still? This has changed your opinion enough to disregard Lisa Frank entirely?
I mean, it's not like I've bought a Lisa Frank item in decades.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been available.
Actually, I've never purchased a Lisa Frank item for myself.
Personally, yeah, that's true.
I was a child at time of purchase.
And yeah, as it turns out, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of stuff available for the last few decades. And now they have a totally different business model that we'll get into. Licensing, merchandising.
She's gone very Shark Tank, hasn't she?
I guess so, yeah. She's on the Mr. Wonderful path of money making now, where everything's a licensing deal.
I think that's maybe like a better business move for her.
Honestly,
is to get on Shark Tank.
Oh, I don't know if she'd be able to get on Shark Tank.
She needs money to invest.
That's a big problem. She's going to have to borrow it from Mark Cuban down at the other end. Can you spare a couple bucks?
Well, the description for Glitter and Greed. It is a 4-part documentary event that penetrates the neon-hued world of Lisa Frank Inc., a brand that defined girlhood for a generation of Americans, only to seemingly disappear overnight. Behind the rainbows and psychedelic illustrations, we unravel a nostalgia-soaked stranger-than-fiction tale that takes us into the hidden world that has been lurking at the heart of the company for decades.
I think nostalgia is the only thing that it has left. There is nothing else. It is just a husk of a company and just a hollow shell.
A memory, if you will.
I mean, yeah, are they making a memory, a pencil sketch memory here? Maybe, perhaps.
Robin did more drawing than Lisa Frank did. Isn't that a shocker?
I think that's the testament here. That's the main takeaway. Do you think that would shatter Robin's business model too? Because then I think that was why she put so much pressure on herself to be the head designer of my sister wife's closet.
I think she needs to take some advice from others who have been more successful in business than herself.
But she is great at business.
Hire that workout. Let's talk about our backgrounds with Lisa Frank, our fond memories. Do you have any, Corey? You weren't really the demographic.
Yeah, I wasn't the target demographic.
But you remember girls in your class having Lisa Frank folders, don't you?
Yeah, it was always around. And then, back to school.
Back to school.
That was a big deal.
What a feeling to try to relive walking down the aisles and discovering all of the new folders that were out for the year.
That new pencil smell. The crayons, the box of crayons that are just brand spanking new.
Sorting through that box of dolphins and pandas and unicorns and cheetahs and deciding which one was going to come back to school with you.
See, I think it was good. They upped the game because then that did make some other stuff very available for me because I think they figured it out. This was their comparison point when they said, well, here's our product and then here's what we were up against in the back to school market, which was just a plain red folder, 2-pocket folder. And it's like, well, yeah, which one would a kid look at and go, ooh, I want that? Probably the more exciting one, the one that's cooler to look at.
Obviously want the brightly colored fun one.
Raise the bar, I did have a few folders that I was very proud of. I can't say that they were Lisa Frank specifically, but I think I recall there was a blue lightning folder that I had in grade school that I was so pumped about. Like that was my jam. I had that for that whole year. I think the thing that I was most excited about was that it folded out. It was like 4 quadrants.
Oh, it was a giant folder.
It was a big folder, but it really didn't take up much more space. So I was very impressed with that. Plus, it was very nice because you used to, when you would take a test and you would have to write your answers with a pencil, you would have to sometimes put up a folder to block off your answers so nobody else would look off your paper. So then I had that one, which that would build up it was like a whole DM shield in front of me on my desk.
You didn't want anyone cheating off you,
Well,
huh?
yeah, I guess. And it was nice because then that way I had way more room because if you just had the 2 folder,
it's
then
hard.
It was a triangle. Yeah, it's very narrow and it's difficult. So it gave me a little bit more elbow room when I was writing. So that was nice. I don't think that folder would have existed if it weren't for Lisa Frank.
Why? I was going to say that's a non-Lisa Frank item.
It's not, but yeah, I feel like they upped the game. And then that got people who were like, hey, here's what we need to do. Here's how we can take this to the next level.
You got to make school supplies more exciting.
Big gap in the market.
My parents weren't made of money, so I didn't get all Lisa Frank folders. I could pick like 1 or 2, and then I got the rest were the boring plain folders.
Yeah, because you are paying basically 5 times the price.
Oh, and they noticed that. So
Yeah.
I would get to pick 1 or 2 that were real fancy for that year. And then that would be the folder that I didn't put anything in because I had to preserve it perfectly.
See, I guess that's the thing is Lisa Frank has always been in the business of extortion. And we just saw it a little bit more explicitly later on in the docuseries here. But I think that has always been the business model. It's just we were okay with the socially acceptable version of that just from a capitalistic society standpoint, I suppose.
Did you collect stickers? Because that's a big part of the beginning of this.
Never collected a sticker in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I was a sticker collector.
Okay.
I collected Lisa Frank stickers.
That seemed like an 80s thing. That seemed like before our time. That seemed like a little too early.
Got me.
For me. You were on the sticker train?
I had a binder, a Lisa Frank binder, that I had full of sticker pages. But I never opened the stickers because I was collecting them.
Of course, yeah.
Every sticker sheet I got for a birthday or wherever I was collecting them from.
To retain the monetary value. Yes, clearly.
I saved that shit.
Yeah.
Where are they today? Don't know.
I
should have just used those stickers.
Garbage can.
Put them on things and enjoyed them.
No.
You don't think so? Well, I think they ended up in the trash somewhere.
Yeah, well, it happens.
I hope they're in my mom's attic.
Well, they're basically in the trash then if they're up there. Weather damaged,
no,
war torn.
No glue left on them.
They're cooked. I remember Lisa Frank being very popular amongst horse girls in my classes.
That's because they had a lot of horse folders.
There was a wide crossover demographic there.
Horse art.
Yeah, a lot of that.
No, I was more of a unicorn.
A dolphin. Yeah,
Dolphins.
I would say you were a dolphin. Yeah.
The whale. the whale that they showed
See,
in the very beginning.
and
one of them that I had.
That was inspired by Free Willy. They were tapping into that. I was big into the Free Willy movie. So, I mean...
So you could have had one of those folders. You would have enjoyed it.
I mean, I guess, but probably not, though.
Right.
I don't know if it was that much. You know what I really liked about the Free Willy movie was the Michael Jackson theme song that
All right,
played
we are
for
way,
the credits.
way
I'm
off
just
topic.
letting you know. Yeah, this is just a glimpse into the world and the mind of Corey here.
So good, so good, so good. It's time to save. Clear the Rack is on at your Nordstrom Rack store. Now through Thursday, take an extra 25% off clearance. All sales final. Hurry, shop this sale at Nordstrom Rack today. Please see NordstromRack.com or ask a store associate for details.
Picture this, you're halfway through a DIY car fix, tools scattered everywhere, and boom, you realise you're missing a part. It's okay, because you know whatever it is, it's on eBay. They've got everything, brakes, headlights, cold air intakes, whatever you need, and it's guaranteed to fit, which means no more crossing your fingers and hoping you ordered the right thing. All the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Over the last 75 years, over 10,000 chemicals have been introduced to our food supply. Yet the EU only allows 300 food additives. But at Thrive Market, we bring our members the highest quality brands and restrict more than 1,000 ingredients found at conventional grocery stores. Making the switch is easy with our Healthy Swaps scanner, which finds better versions of all your favorite pantry, snacking, and home essentials without the added junk, dyes, and fillers. Plus, it's all delivered straight to your door. So if you're looking to shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health, go to thrivemarket.com/podcast and you'll get 30% off your first order and a free gift.
Hey, it's Mark Marin from WTF here to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. And I'm sure the reason you're listening to this podcast right now is because you chose it. Well, choose Progressive's Name Your Price tool, and you could find insurance options that fit your budget, so you can pick the best one for your situation. Who doesn't like choice? Try it at Progressive.com. And now, some legal info. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Holiday magic is in the air, and DSW's got all the shoes to make your season extra merry. Believe, you've got parties to attend and lists to check twice, so DSW is taking care of the details, like gifts to make their eyes all aglow, styles that bring joy to your world, brands everyone wants, like UGG, Nike, Birkenstock, and more, and deals to make your budget bright. Find the perfect shoes for you and yours at a DSW store near you or DSW.com.
All right, we jump in and we learn about Lisa Frank. That's really the first part of this 4-part docuseries. We got to know, who is the woman, the enigma, Lisa Frank? And they kind of describe her very Nanny Fine-like, very Fran Fine. You would think she would be from the East Coast.
She's from Detroit.
She's from Detroit.
Yeah, she's a Detroiter. Michigander.
Somehow found her way down to Arizona, going to school, and became an entrepreneur. Now, she started her career extremely early in life. She's in her early 20s, and she's wheeling and dealing. She's making jewelry. She's making stickers.
She's selling stuff at stores. I mean, she's got an in on a lot of these businesses that the small businesses would be hard pressed to be making these sorts of deals at this stage.
Now, what that told me right away, which was my first red flag, is that Lisa Frank is very good at sales.
She's a talker.
Yeah, she's a talker. She can get her product in places by making connections. That's what Lisa Frank is going to have that she's going to contribute to a company.
Because it would be worth noting, we never see Lisa Frank as part of this documentary. She
didn't participate.
She doesn't participate directly. She provided a statement, well, her and her lawyers or her PR team that eventually she hired, I'm sure. Probably not. They just kept putting the same statement at the end of every episode, which seemed ominous and kind of threatening, vaguely, too.
You thought it was threatening?
The best is yet to come. So I don't know what that meant.
Well, I think with the way the documentary ended, it's concerning that she's got more business prospects in mind.
I'm alarmed. I'm on defense now for any sort of Lisa Frank shenanigans that should arise now.
She starts the Lisa Frank Company, and she's hiring illustrators and designers, but really all of the vision is hers. The final decisions come down to Lisa, but she's not the one creating the art, which is a big piece of misinformation that seems to be out there because her name's on the artwork. So everyone just assumed that this woman has been drawing all of this art all of these years.
That she's an American-made artist, the original American artist. But that's just kind of the brand. That's the story that they spin up because we meet, it's James Green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Salsa Verde, as I like to call him. And he wasn't the first hire, but he was
told he was going to be the first hire. So the story behind this is actually pretty indicative of how the rest of working at Lisa Frank is going to go. Lisa calls him out of the blue. He's just an artist in Detroit. No idea how she got his information. She tells him, I'm starting this company. I want you to be the first designer. He drives from Michigan down to Arizona, and he thinks he's going for a job interview. And when he gets there, it's some type of competition between him and someone else.
Because she had decided along the way, I have somebody else that I'm going to hire instead, but thanks anyway. And this is in the late 70s, early 80s, and this man doesn't even know where he lives anymore. He is so far from home. He has traveled so long of a distance here that he deserves at least some sort of a tryout, if you will. And so she presents them with the age-old interview solution here is I'm going to make this a competition between my two interviewees.
And I'm going to ask you to do some work.
And some
unpaid.
work for free.
And then I'm going to use the work for my business.
That's mine now.
Which is she's ahead of her times. That is very 2024 interviewing.
Yeah, that's light years ahead.
To ask someone to do a full assignment, unpaid, and then steal their work and use it because they design her logo. That's what happens. James's is the winner. The Lisa Frank script that you see, her name, is something that he created.
A Salsa Verde original.
And so he becomes a very big part of the company because he's there from the beginning. It seems very much like he feels that the company, it's him and Lisa working together, but it's really a lot more a him.
I think he feels like it's a lot more him, and I bet that she felt like it was a lot more her. And the reality is, it is an amalgamation of both of them. It's a mix, it's a blend, because I think James did have way more technical knowledge and art understanding. He just has innate art ability too. He is an artist himself. So I think he understands a lot of the technical approach of making art. And then
Lisa understands what the people want.
Lisa knows she's the trend setter, or like not even setter. She's the trend spotter. She knows where things are going. She got into this business because she was making little trinkety jewelry stuff. And she heard that, hey, there's kids that are buying a bunch of stickers. And she's like, well, shit, that's cheap. So I'll go ahead and buy some stickers and then mark them up and sell those bitches. So that became the business model for a minute there. And then it was like, all right, what else can we get into here? We'll make our own stuff. We'll just, find some artists that we can take advantage of. So she started with Salsa Verde.
I mean, it's a good pairing. You need to have the person who can actually execute the vision and the person who has the vision.
A visionary and, a like goer and doer type person.
And now if anybody, this is going to get dark because this company is dark. It's very toxic. And we have had our own personal experiences working in corporate America.
So this is what was wild to me, with everybody saying how crazy this documentary is and all these insane things that were going on. This was run of the mill, so standard across the board. Every checkbox that you can come up with for corporate America.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that we don't think it's wrong.
No.
Absolutely. It's fucked up. It's wrong. It shouldn't happen. Does it happen all across this country every single day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every minute of every day.
And I've experienced a lot of these things firsthand in different places that I've worked.
What you'll see, is maybe not all of these in one place. So I think that's where it's rare. But everything that was posed of the mental abuse of the employees, the taking advantage of people financially by paying them barely above minimum wage at an hourly rate instead of an agreed upon salary when they first were hired in, all of these different practices and things that are being done. Yeah, that shit happens every day. That is
not unique to Lisa Frank.
Fortune 500 stuff. Yeah.
One of the artists is talking about how she was making $8.25 an hour. It was just barely over minimum wage, which made me stop and reflect on how little minimum wage has changed
Probably
in that
still
amount
is.
of time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And she was on food stamps, even though she's working 15-hour days at Lisa Frank.
5 days a week, and then sometimes on weekends too. So I think the main thing that a lot of people fail to see is that these people will be told, you need to work hard here. And they try to get as much out of these people as they physically, mentally, emotionally can. But the thing that they're doing is that they're actually just testing your boundaries, because they don't want people who are going to say, oh, I was here at 9 a.m. and I'm leaving at 5. I had my break for lunch for an hour and I'm going home now. Goodbye. They don't want people who will stand up for themselves. They don't want people who will push back. They need to find the people who will do a shit ton of work, just put their head down and ignore everything else that's going on around them and forge ahead, plow through, and just make this stuff happen, because they want to find those people who fit into that category who will not push back.
And that works for them at first.
You're finding artists who are probably some wounded people. There was some family history that was in stuff too. Some of the artists who were told by their parents that you'll never be an artist. You'll find the people that fall into those categories that are very susceptible to this. It's like a cult personality, cult of personality type environment.
That's what made this feel particularly predatory to me, is because people who are in the world of creating or in the world of art, you already have so few opportunities to be able to go do that and monetize it and make a living off of it, that they were genuinely excited when they saw the opportunities at this company, that they were going to get a job here. And it was fun at first because they're getting to create art. They're seeing it out in the world. This company is growing really fast.
It's bringing so much joy to all of these children. There's a fandom there, a fanaticism.
And then it steadily gets more and more toxic over time. And at first they try to convince us that it had a lot to do with James and James's influence over the company.
I would say James's management style didn't help with the toxic environment.
No.
I think he was a contributing factor to that.
What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
And he went from being one of the first artists that was hired to becoming the art director. So he has risen up the ranks over time and accumulated more and more influence over the company. And like you said, yet he's not actually very good with people, which is another common thing in corporate America.
Yeah.
To continually have someone progress in their career because they're good at what they do. But that usually ends up with them having to manage people. And sometimes people lack that skill, even though they're good in the areas of what it is they do.
You are forced to be good at your job, be a top performer. And then you reach that ceiling where then now you have to go to management to continue your career progression. But if you are focusing on doing your job well, you may not be good at managing people and acquiring that skill set. It's a very different skill set than just being a top performer in a lot of different jobs. I would say art is probably one of those that would count as you don't really gain a lot of people skills from that because it is kind of an isolated thing. Yes, there is collaboration through it, but it seemed like the way that James was running things, Salsa Verde had a kick.
Well, and he was an airbrush artist before this. He just seemed to work in a studio by himself. He was creating his own art. And then suddenly he's thrust into the world of Lisa Frank, and he's the art director.
And you have to come up with these and find a singular unilateral vision for all of this stuff that it has to fit into the wide world of Lisa Frank. It all has to go together somehow too with these crazy designs.
And he's always kind of reining Lisa in because she just wants crazy patterns and bright colors, and she's more interested in the type of animal that they're going to use. And he's trying to put real world parameters around it, trying to make the art look a little bit more realistic and have everything have a consistent look and feel so that there's a brand to it.
Again, I see the benefit.
He's good at some things that he does.
There's value in what they both bring, because if you didn't have that imaginative side, it wouldn't be Lisa Frank. But then if it didn't have that uniform look and feel to it, then you wouldn't know that it's Lisa Frank, because it's going to be completely bizarre, off the wall stuff.
I think the point of this too is that this is not all Lisa Frank's doing. It's not all James is doing. These two have now teamed up together, and they're creating this company. They're building this company by combining their visions. Will it work if the two of them are not working together?
Because, there's a pretty quick turn from business partners to romantic relationship endeavors that take place.
Hope you enjoy this preview of our recap of Glitter and Greed, the Lisa Frank story. You can listen to the whole thing over on Surviving Reality.
So good, so good, so good. Just in and so good. Thousands of winter deals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. And that means thousands of fresh reasons to rack.
Because we get the latest trends for way less.
Because I've been looking for these.
Because the best deals go fast.
Save big with up to 60% off. Sam Edelman, Sorel, Free People, Cole Haan, and more cold weather finds. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.